She definitely, I think she's available to the workshop. Yeah, she is. So yeah, sure we can get up something really cool for her. I mean, she's a cool looking character already. Just nothing planned out yet, man. Sorry. There's so many heroes, you know, and somebody always asks us, "Hey, dude, this is my favorite hero. Any plans?" And you know, the odd time you're like, "Yeah, dude, we're making that on that chest that's coming out, you know, before TI5." But there being over 100 heroes, most of the time we're like, you know, I haven't really thought of a good idea for that hero yet. But hopefully we'll get to all of them, dude. Hopefully. I mean, cooler heroes are definitely sometimes, you know, easier to make sets for, or to make something new out of, you know, our live workshop style, where we really try to create a new character over top of it while still making it recognizable at the same time. But yeah, like cooler looking heroes right off the bat are usually easier to work with, obviously. A piranha cursor. Sniper cursor with an aim. Yeah, all the cursors that come out, I'm not really crazy about. They're just like totally overproduced, I feel. They're too abstract, you know, there's just, I don't know, man. Too busy. Too big. The silhouette changed too much. They need to be subtle and clean and precise. That fucking cursor. Of our mirror mode here. Let's see, what kind of wrinkle do we want to push across here? Push one across here. Make this guy go up. Starting point anyways. Enigma set? Yeah, a cool Enigma set would be cool. Don't be lazy, just do a fucking awesome one. Alright, man. You say so. We'll fit it in. Gotta think of something, man. Now, what I'm doing right now is creating some wrinkles that are gonna follow the actual seam line of where we separated the skirt from the torso, so that you know, it just gets hidden a lot better. If there's some errors here and there with the bake or the specular, you know, not flowing across, sometimes it happens. Good way to hide it. Put a dandy face on Tinker and all set. Spend your dollars on that shit. I bet a lot of people would. Kinda weird seeing I guess both Alliance and Navi, you know, not at the top anymore. I'll get back up there. Back up. Tinker? No? Is Tinker available for the workshop? I think just Clockwork is. Right now I'm just gonna sketch in where the seam that I'm gonna place for the dress is gonna fall, and also sculpt some wrinkles around that area at the same time. But this will be a pretty good guide. That's why I turned on the wireframe. Sit on top of our sculpt. Served us fairly well. Okay. Lay out for it. All of that. Yeah, he's not available. I don't think. Even though you can get boots for him, but those are VoV mates. Can I explain the general theme for this TA set? Sorry if it's already being covered. Yeah, no problem, dude. First off, let us show you. Okay, they're proof. Okay, so those are UVs, but here we go. Here's our Black Lotus set for TA, and our main idea was to really come up with something really unique for TA that is very different from anything else out there, and at the same time make it super feminine and then very Chinese. Those were the very important 3 bullet points that we wanted to make sure we nailed. So here you can see we made it really sexy. You know, we have the bare shoulders. Her neckline is very long, accentuated by this high collar, being black and going into the neck, and then showing down to her cleavage. And give her this kind of like half dress where it continues from her torso, and it's a half skirt at that, so that it shows one side, it shows her leg pretty open, and the rest is very flowy and very rounded and very big folds of cloth going across. She also has pants in the game, so that's another thing that we did, that we added to her, is we took off her pants and gave her short shorts way under there. But yeah, she's got bare legs, bare shoulders, nice little half dress. She's got her armor still on there. Still, you can still tell that she was a Templar assassin, but a very unique take on her, I feel, and very Chinese at the same time. Very Chinese-oriented dress, foldings, very asymmetrical, and we echoed some elements like the dual bracers, you know, being on her hair, and this super long braid that's gonna be have added bones that we're gonna add on her and be have physics on it so that it moves along with your movement in the game when she crouches down and all that fun stuff. She's got extra long hair coming from her sides and on her back as well, so there's multiple things that will be moving about. Oh, looks going for what? And yeah, like I was saying, the echoing design elements like the dual bracers being on her arm and on her ponytail. It's a really good design thing to keep in mind when you're designing characters. Echo your element designs. And then of course we also have like the very nice Chinese kind of hair bun back here with the slick back hair going into the brace and then into another brace. And the way that we're gonna add that new year, 2015, the year of the ram, is we're gonna throw some RAM elements and some RAM designs onto the bracers, the metal bracers, so that they're really strong and you can really see them on there with the spec era highlights that we'll add on at the end when we do the materials. What else? Oh, of course, I mean, you can see the chopsticks, right? So the chopsticks, you know, stuck those in the hair buns, and they're really nice for the silhouette, really nice for the design, and the year of the RAM and the whole, you know, Asian vibe to it. So those are the design elements that I thought of when I was designing this model and blocking it out instead of soft image. I think it's pretty unique. So we finish it up and get it in the workshop for you guys. No mask. No mask. Thanks, Maggie boy. Can't do much better for dogs than the keyboard. Well, sometimes when we're sculpting, people like to see how I do my shortcuts, you know, they always sculpt. But hey man, brand new. Today is the first time that we have the proof cam. Right now he's down by my leg, so he's over by his little chair over there. He's a little throne. When he's back over there, I'll throw him back on. Where's our zBrush? Alright. Oh, this looks pretty smooth. Got rid of all those nasty quads. This part. One of those times when I put symmetry on. That's okay, we're only making half of the set anyway. This is actually mirrored part of the color. Alright, that's pretty good for smoothing that. Let's move on to the other items and split those guys out. This. Start working on. Start with the hair. Why not? I call it proof cam? Yeah, I mean, my dog's name is proof. What's the proof cam? Big tits. Yes, she's got, well, not even her tits that are big. It's she's got this armor corset thing that is huge. So I had to model on top of that, which is already big. So. Hey man, thanks for that follow. Okay. Make sure we have symmetry on this one for sure. And we'll smooth out her hair before we start doing detail on it. And then we'll move over to the armor stuff and we'll smooth that out as well. And that's a dog startling himself against the bottle. Got proof. Go to bed, buddy. Got some polygons to smooth out. Good, pretty good. Taslim, you are totally late, dude. We've been streaming for, I think, 4 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. You are late. The hair? Well, yeah, I mean, we'll smooth out the hair, but I'm not sure we'll be able to do like the fancy stuff that you want to see. We probably have to do that tomorrow. It's like 10:30, I haven't had dinner, so we'll smooth out everything, get it nice and ready, and then tomorrow we'll do like this really like nice detailed stuff. But look at this is some of the wrinkles, some of the start of the wrinkles. I'll start putting some of those in here, maybe some of the hair ones, some of the main ones on the hair. We start doing some of the base work, some of the groundwork for it. What are you doing? Oh, so some pretty big news right out of the Dota world. The TI 5 was announced. The dates, October 2nd to the 8th, I think it was. So it's like 6 full days. I think I'm right on those dates, but pretty dope, right? 6 full days of TI. So what I'm thinking is we're definitely gonna go, and maybe we'll have like a live workshop, like bar night, and anybody that it's like knows LiveWorkshop or you guys watch the stream or whatever, we can all go drink and have some fun. Have a meet one of the nights. Now we're usually like beyond exhausted when we're working all the boots at the workshop section during the TIs, but we go out every night regardless, man. No matter how tired we are, we still do it up. And usually AC comes out with us and we all party out and drink till God knows when in the morning, and we'll have a good time, guys. Rusk, what's up? Sending you some greetings, man. Thank you for joining us. So as I'm filling up all this space, I'm trying to follow the topology or the direction of the hair and how the hair is actually going to show up. Of course, my undo this. Helps with your initial models, even if you have that little bit of direction on them. You're at work till 1 in the morning? Fuck, man. It's a rough work night. So if you were to get into sculpting, what sort of piece should you start with? Armor, clothing, or weapon? I'm not the learn from bottom type, so I need something big, but that isn't frustratingly big. Yeah, dude, I think a weapon is probably your best bet because it has a lot of hard surface areas. And hard surface is where you should begin because it's easier to at least sculpt it. After that comes, you know, high polygon stuff, design, colors, texturing, lighting, blah 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 blah. But as a starting point, it's easier to learn low polygon stuff when you're doing hard surface stuff. It's a lot easier to understand than actually creating complex volumes, like characters and muscles and all that stuff, anatomy. Oh shit, Cold, you're in Seattle? Perfect, dude. Perfect. We'll see you there, man. It's a pretty good base for the hair. A little bit of direction for some of these guys, nothing crazy. We're gonna go probably bigger on those strands and make it really quite cartoon, not cartoony, but a lot sharper, so that it's nice and readable from a distance, and even from the avatar. Stevener's question, getting into sculpting, I mentioned that he should start with hard surface stuff like a weapon, where it doesn't have to worry about anatomy and volumes a lot, you know, straight surfaces with some less changes in direction, you know, to create the volumes, like a sword, you know, things like that are a lot easier to do when you're learning a low polygon program. After that, you can start learning, you know, texturing, UVing, lighting, normal mapping, baking, high poly stuff, and then start getting into anatomy and characters and cloth and all that stuff. That's a lot harder to do. But, you know, understanding the basics while making something non-organic is... You're a New York Kipo. New York Kipo? What's a New York Kipo, man? Is that like a New York Kappa? Everybody has all the programs that I do, since he didn't want to use it. Yeah, man, go for it. Absolutely. All you know is Photoshop. Hey, man, that's a start. That's all I knew when I got started. I was making new skins for Half-Life 1 multiplayer. That's how I got started, dude. I was just making skins with Photoshop. Long time ago. Alright, there's a little bit. Let's soften up this part back here. It's a nice starting point when we do our little slight curls and whatnot on the hair, some of the overlaying layers like we did on our Necrophos. We got some really nice hair coming from that guy, so we're gonna try the same technique and push it across the hair. Ended up looking really, really nice. And it's kind of unfortunate, but with the Necrophos you can't really see all that crazy, really nice detail that we did for the hair, because it's all glowy and very ethereal, very ghostly. So maybe with the hair we can show it a little bit more, even though her hair is gonna be pretty black, but maybe the specular will help out. It'll be easier. Hey Dom, long time no see. Yeah, man. I mean, we streamed a couple days ago, but before that, yeah, we had the New Year and we were crunching for some of the secret stuff that we couldn't show at the time for the Starlighter Hero bundles. But here we are, man. Back at it. Giving you some live workshop streams. Hey Christian. Yeah, let me show you guys the low poly for the new people that joined up. Here's our design, our low polygon and our UV'd version on the right side, with the red stuff being the mirrored stuff. But yeah, here's our Black Lotus. Check her out. Oh. Very, very sexy Templar Assassin is what we're going for. Chinese Templar Assassin. Pretty dope. Alright, got rid of most of the... Oh, we got rid of all the quads pretty much. Alright, that's a pretty good starting point for that. Let's move on, let's do the bun. We probably don't need to isolate. Go in here. There, nope, there we go. Rid of those quads. Squareness. What is it, proof? Need buddy. You want attention, don't you? Trust me, it's all day like this. Hold on, buddy. Gotta finish this zBrush. Then we'll play, okay? What is it? Come on up. Up here, that's all you wanted. You just want attention. Huh? Feel right? All you wanted? Like a rat. Just all your hair. Cut it up. You dick. Alright, little proofers. You're gonna have to try and find a place on the lap there, and then the tablet's gonna go on top of you. Okay, going right under the tablet. Go to the cam too, you guys can see. Tablet, and there's proofers right under there. Oh, thank you. Licks on the tablet. Oh, thank you. The Wacom pen. Alright. Alright, crazy boy. So, I have this tablet on top of you, okay? That does work, okay? Lay down, man. Your head's making me move my elbow up. Another obstacle to have to fucking work through, right? Freaking lion on your lap. I'll, make sure we keep the volumes. At the same time, getting rid of the quads. Let's isolate this because that hair there that is falling out of the bun is getting a little bit on the way. Round this part out before with it, keeps the volume, and then joins both parts together. Nice little work through there. Part's a little tricky. Very low poly, so getting the roundness to be there and keeping the silhouette and the volume at the same time. Tricky. Need a bigger, more aggressive. Okay, pretty good starting point, I think. A bit more girth here and there. This stuff will actually show up in the normal map. So, yeah, but it's gonna big to the low poly. It's alright, man. When we put specular on it, and it will have specular, you gotta take that into account. We're making something with more specular reflection on it. More of your zBrush culp is gonna show through. If that's the case, make sure you get that zBrush as possible too. ¿Qué dices, Luisma? ¿Qué dices, man? The NewBloom launch? I think it's like a month, or what is it? Mid-February, I want to say? Whatever the Chinese New Year is, it's really close to that. I know, right? Kind of a weird night. A weird Friday night. right now. We're just gonna sketch in like some of the direction of the lines here as well. And then we'll do some really nice ones with our clay build-up brush. This is just to give us proof. Suggestive lines of some detail, and we'll do it with something really nice. That's a good starting point. Saving our work. I totally saved that in the wrong place, didn't I? Huh. Saved that in our hotkeys section for some reason. Back to our recent places. Oh. Manny, what's your opinion on the Gabe Newell shopkeeper in the workshop? Actually, I think it's a pretty clever idea, man. I think there's something left to be said for the execution of it, but really good idea from you guys. Very cool. I think one thing that they should have done for sure is made it, I think he's got some like weird just like staff with some stuff on it. They definitely should have made it into like a band hammer, you know, like that's the whole thing with Gabe, right? It's big ass band hammer. So that would have been extra little touch there. I think they missed out on. Villager, hey man, welcome. Psych Scam, welcome as well. Right behind him. Abyss effects from LiveWorkshop? Question mark. Did you ask something else before that, or was that the full question? Sure, that's the full question, man. Sabrin, yeah, sorry dude, you won't get to see like the super nice detailed stuff or the build up of those hair strands, but we'll get to that tomorrow, man. This smoothing process is actually fairly important. And hopefully you're learning something from this procedure. Hey Devil4173. Hey. Checker Boy, welcome guys. Thank you for the follows. Got a follow train going down. Holy crap. Wiley, what up? What is up, people? Fill up the channel. Sculpt some Templar Assassin. NewBloom, 2015. Maybe. Level time. Oh shit. Yeah. Bobo, Brazil, Papanigu. Oh, that was too long of a name. I completely missed the last part of it, man. But welcome aboard. Regardless. What's up, buddy? Pretty smooth. We're keeping the volumes we're aiming to do right here for all these 3 items for Templar Assassin. And we're actually covering up quite a bit of the default model to make her super unique new. So, 3 items are actually a lot more work than most other single items, which are a lot smaller, cover less space. We're covering up her whole torso, her waist, almost her legs if the skirt was to be down. We actually made new legs for her. Covered up the whole right arm, most of the left arm, the biggest fucking ponytail you've seen in the game yet. New hair, new tendrils, chopsticks, don't take a lot of room, but still cool. Very unique TA set. What we're going for here, guys. Sexy TA Chinese NewBloom set. LiveWorkshop. Hey man, you can call me Sith or Manny. My name's right there. I guess I should put like a backslash, man. A lot of people here call me Manny, but yeah, that's all good, man. I'm excited for the new release of zBrush for R7 this month. You know what, dude? I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how their low polygon tools actually work and if they're actually relevant, or if you're like, you know, come on, man, I can't work with that. I'm gonna stick to my 3D package being, you know, Softimage or Maya or whatever it is. But I mean, one of the things that zBrush is missing more than anything is an actual way of working with polygons, you know, in 3D space, not just fucking transpose fucking bullshit you have to deal with to try and pose and move something, you know, it's just pain in the ass. So if there's an easier way for them to, you know, to work with low poly stuff, it would be good. I haven't looked too much into it, to be honest, but I do know some of the hey Meng, welcome aboard, man. Drunk. Those volumes. It's really hard for you guys to see just how much of the volume we're keeping. It's something that you feel as you're sculpting. You can see a little bit on the material here on the metacap. But we are actually doing a fairly decent job at keeping the volume so that we get a really nice, easy on our normal map and our ambient occlusion and light maps. We'll get to that after all the zBrush sculpted work is finished. I just moved the whole thing. It's like, no, and the volumes. I mean, it's a little meticulous and careful. A lot of this section. Pretty good. Really good starting point. You'll be here tomorrow. Probably says something bad about me that you've been watching the stream today, and since it started. Why would I say something bad about you, man? No. It's a good thing. I'm not gonna tell you to stop watching the stream. Especially if you're learning stuff, dude. That's why we're here. I mean, I could very easily just do this on my own and not answer questions and explain what I'm doing and work like 3 times faster, if not more. But yeah, I mean, we're here to help the community out. This song is so good. 27th March. You wish there was a layer system in place for subtools? Oh, yeah. Yeah, because then having to scroll through all this shit is bullshit. I know what you're talking about, man. I hear ya. So yeah, I decided to smooth out all 3 items all across the board so that when we come back to it, we're like, okay, we're ready to fucking sculpt. And we'll be like, oh, I still have to smooth out that part, you know? It's like, we're getting it all primed up for the good stuff. I try hitting space, and space is usually my alt for rotation and self-damage. Sometimes, you know, all these programs that are in my head get confused, and I start using the wrong key bindings for them. It's crazy, you know, the amount of programs that you have to remember at all times in your head. Kinda doesn't leave stuff in my brain for a lot of other stuff. So vertice and art information in there. Like, dude, it was like, you know, it was John's birthday the other day. I was like, what? Fuck. What an asshole I am. Shit. Now I'm not touching the bottom parts of this ponytails, braids, whatever the fuck. Because the bottom part is mirrored, so I'm not gonna worry about spending time smoothing that section out or sculpting any detail. Don't need it. Alright. Arcel Q, what's up, man? Welcome to the live workshop. I'm gonna take a sip of this horn just for you, buddy. Ah, that's good. Going anywhere. Good stretch. That cape part is gonna be the new item in mixed TA sets. Huh? It's the cape is part of the shoulders actually. So whenever people have their armor stuff around the waist, those armor pieces will go on top of that. So they'll still work. Yeah, we thought that shit through. M1 Hail, welcome to the stream. We're working on the bottom part. I'm working more on the connection of the bottom part to the middle part. That's the mirrored section. So that stuff flows correctly. Can't just ignore it. It is mirrored, but this top part we gotta put this smoothly. Got little UV. Okay. Okay. Good, pretty good. With his bracers. So this guy's I'm planning on not on the middle. But these guys that were, like we said before, planning on putting some kind of RAM design. This NewBloom Year of the Ram 2015. This is how we're gonna connect it to the event. Besides having the Chinese design to her dress and set overall. Nice little detail here. You're trying to use Marvel as designer for making an outfit. Do you know any websites where you can look up outfits by type? That's an artist similar to Anatomy for websites. Outfits by type. I don't, man. Yeah, unfortunately, I really don't know any of those like reference sites for that kind of stuff. I mean, a lot of the fashion stuff that we designed, you know, because as we're character artists and we're designing outfits for females, males, whether they're military or lords or princesses or, you know, whatever it is, NPC, you become a fashion designer. You have to. You're designing all that stuff, so you learn a lot of fashion details. What we're mentioning last time as we're creating we're talking about the dress for the Templar assassin that we're making here. And we did, you know, we usually just research a lot of the way that dresses and, you know, just fashion design, you know, works across certain aspects that you're trying to incorporate into your model, your character, especially females, right? But on our Star Wars project, we, you know, like Star Wars has a very, very unique style for their cloth and their fashion stuff. So I know a lot of that stuff inside out. And a lot of our references came from the Star Wars universe itself, and a little bit, you know, we tried to kind of like implement new things into it, but keeping the same aesthetic. So we didn't really have to look at many types, you know, we knew what that special look was for Star Wars, and then we kind of like built into it, you know, so how some things needed to fold across fabric, you know, making sure that things were not symmetrical. You know, Star Wars is very asymmetrical in their fashion design. So a lot of those things I carried through in the knowledge and the stuff that I pushed forward. But as far as reference goes, man, it's really wide open for fashion stuff. I'm not sure if there's any websites that will really put everything into different subcategories for you, unfortunately. And if there is, man, I don't know it. Your best bet is to think of a good design that you want to create, and then just look for those kind of things from reference, you know, fashion websites or from Google. It's a pretty good way to go about it, and fill your head with some ideas, and then, you know, just develop some ideas out of that for yourself. But understand, you know, how the seam goes, how the cloth falls, the weight of the cloth, all those things, you know, where what's the word? accentuate, you know, the human form. If you're trying to make somebody athletic or look stronger, you know, plays the seams in a way that follows the musculature, and that actually makes them look fitter and stronger, more agile. You know, things like that. You learn as you look at more of the science from movies or games, or how professionals have done it in the past for really cool stuff. A really good example I like to bring up for that stuff is Star Trek uniform. How they were updated from their old 1960s uniform. The 1960 ones, you know, they're very square. They're not very. I mean, they're kind of, they're fitting, but not body fitting. You know, like they're kind of tight, but not really. The seams don't really attach to the right points. The seams don't really follow the musculature. If you look at the new Star Trek shirts, you see the seams run across the top here to accentuate those models or those the muscles on the chest. You know, they make, you know, they highlight that stuff, and they're form fitted, and they did a really good job. Good reference. Yeah, Pinterest will work. Make a trim here at the bottom with a mask later on. Is that in the middle? Of course. Shit, this one is. Okay, great. Have our work. Pretty good. That stuff is ready. I'm starting some fill sculpts on it. We actually missed out on the eyelashes, so it's those guys. What's going there? So I'm not actually gonna detail sculpt these into actual eyelashes. We're gonna keep them very flat and solid, and make them look very more like a garment on her eyelashes. And that will both make it look like an accessory, and at the same time, will make it look visible. Games out of Dota. Auto masking up. isolate. We're not gonna worry about that side. That's mirrored. It has no UVs. Took them off the right side, so we get a super nice clean bake on the right side only. This dog gets really heavy on your lap after a while. Might be little, but dude, so warm. Oh. Or that left side with it. Oh no, the mirror was on. Should just move. Okay. Let's move on to the armor. We'll start with the cloth, I guess. Get out of the way. Good. Oh, it's just let's hide this. Worry about the sides. A nice rotation around it. Does Steam take a big percentage if you get into the store? You mean Valve? Yeah, Valve takes 75% and you get 25% of the sale. Am I gonna get to the arms and the legs before the end of the stream? Yeah, we're gonna finish smoothing them out before I end the stream. I want to make sure that that's finished, so then tomorrow we jump back on this and we just do the detail stuff, sculpting. So a quick smoothing across every single piece. Places in a really nice, easy spot to do the rest of this. Which, all in all, it's not very difficult. I have experience with cloth and metal. We actually already did cloth, a lot of cloth and a lot of metal for Dota in that style, so, and even hair. We've gotten pretty decent at hair too, so matter of doing it really. Getting it down. Sucker done for the 19th. I saw it. More energy on this one since we haven't had dinner. Like, come on, man. Keep us going. And in this section we'll add all these little cuts and little wrinkles and whatnot. Be really nice. For now, make it smooth, man. Get smooth. Keep those volumes. That's all we want right now. Not seem too important, but oh, it is quite important. Okay, so now the back side I believe is mirrored. Make sure I'm looking at the front here. Okay, yeah. We don't want to actually. I should do something here. What I like to do is grab a really small brush and just kind of X out stuff that we don't need to worry about at all. All this stuff is mirrored, so we're not gonna. I'm sculpting it. Where I cover all the quads that I'm not supposed to be touching. I think it goes up to there. Stuff is unique. Oh, gone. Fine, buddy. This dog is key. Camera doesn't reach that far. Here. There's a little nose. His nose? Can't prove you're so warm. Good lord. Oh no, he's trying to move. Where you going? Going. Where you go? Oh. Okay, so you shook around, you spin around, and you sat in the exact same spot as you were before. Making items for TF2 or Dota style be easier, or would it not matter? TF2 items are a lot easier. So their submission tools are not as well, they're not as polished as the Dota tools are. But if you're not making something like complex or animated, or like it's still pretty easy to get stuff submitted to the TF2, and the style is a lot easier. The texturing for TF2 stuff is like way easier than Dota stuff, and the style is also a lot easier. It's there's not as many masks or detail stuff that you have to do, technical side of things. So yeah, man, if you're starting up and you're interested in doing both, TF2 is probably a better bet for you if you're learning. Did a couple items for TF2 back in the day. Oh, they're showing up on the right. So hopefully why I asked. I mean, some of the textures on TF2 are just like flat colors with that ambient occlusion, tagged on it on top. But the style and the idea have to be, that much stronger because of texturing is so much easier for Team Fortress. Getting the style is the hardest part, for sure. I'm not saying it's easy. Making items for it is easier. Making the style takes some time to get used to. Because most of the style comes from the design and the sculpting, not so much from the texture. The texture can be pretty simple. Kind of sketching in some of the folds here. A bit crazy. A little bit. Yeah, I thought so, man. When I can't use self-damage? When wouldn't I be able to use self-damage? I prefer it to stay as much as possible outside of Maya and Studio Max. I don't like them. I'll do all my low poly and mid polygon stuff in self-damage. If I need to get into Maya, which we did, you know, back when working on Star Wars, I would sculpt all my stuff in self-damage and zBrush, and then you know, bake everything, do all my work self-damage, and then export to OBJ, bring it into Maya, set up all the materials and everything, so that the rest of the team could continue working on their stages of like rigging, animation, and all those things for the characters. A motor? Yeah, it's not being supported anymore, but you can keep using it for a very long time, so no big deal. It's not like Autodesk was really doing anything new with it. People keep making their own plugins or whatever for it, so keep using it.
When I see you in the morning, will you still want to be true? I can't dream, I can't dream that we'll see a brighter day.
This dog is so spoiled. Flatten out this area. Sometimes people forget that cloth gets really flat. Actually makes cloth look pretty realistic. Always making it super smooth and swooshy all over the place. That's pretty good spot actually. Need to be that anymore. Come back to it. We actually have to sculpt all that detail and wrinkles. Right now, I'm trying to smooth out all the pieces of the mesh. Everything ready for us for tomorrow. Digital Tutors has a lot of tutorials and stuff to mesh, but you do have to pay for a subscription. Yeah, they have some free ones. I haven't been on there in a long time, but they used to have a lot of free ones, freebies. And then yeah, you have to pay for a subscription. We're planning on doing some tutorials as well. LiveWorkshop.com for you. Definitely want to jump on some of those this year. Been way too busy getting a lot of work done. Definitely on the list. Almost there, you guys. There's the bracers left to go after this. And I don't really have to do the legs actually. Legs normals I can rip away from the default and rebake it on top of ours, and then just texture the our legs and skins and wrinkles and knee sections and whatnot. But the normal already done. What's up, Bolshikov? Yeah, nailed it. Triangles. Big. No, it just looks like a blob right now. We'll make it into nice wrinkles. Leave me. The stage is getting rid of the edges in our volumes, like I've been saying, or for all the new people. It's going down right here. Putting up our smooth with good volumes. Then bake out really nicely into our low polygon, and then we add all our detail on top of that. Good though, it's gonna taste so much better. The hungrier you are. Start eating there actually. Go Sith. Go. Alright, that's a pretty good starting point. Let's see if that worked in a while. Let's not lose our work. Ooh. Oh man, I missed a whole bunch of shit in the chat. Let me scroll up and some of these questions. A lot easier to find resources for Maya, and that's when somebody told you to look at digital tutors. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube for Softimage, I think. And for the Ed Harris website, I think he's got a whole bunch of Softimage things. A little bit older, but that's some. Smite? Oh, like the third-person MOBA kind of thing? Yeah, I mean, I've watched a little bit of it on Twitch, Smite, but I don't know. It's very... It reminds you of like Rune, if you guys ever played Rune, that kind of gameplay. In the sense where you're just like, you know, trying to like, well, you have a lot of spells that you cast with AoEs and whatnot for the most part, but then your regular attacks are very like, you know, try to jump in his hitbox and hit him before he hits you in your hitbox. And, not a big fan. But I know it's a popular game. Just not for me. Anything these days is better than going to university. Damn right. Any tutorials that I can recommend for people starting with no experience? Shit, man. I haven't looked at tutorials in many years. Fortunately, not for modeling or sculpting or anything like that. But if you're starting from scratch and you're using, you know, whatever you're using, if you're Softimage or using Maya or, you know, Blender, Modo, whatever it is, just look at the beginner tutorials for those programs. There's a lot of them on YouTube or Vimeo. You know, Vimeo has a surprising amount of tutorials on. So look for that. Get familiar with the 3D program. You know where all the buttons are, how you make your polygons, how you add, extrude, you know, all those things, all those basic things. Once you do that, you can start looking at and trying to replicate what people are doing on streams or in other videos or professional work. And the more you do that stuff and try to copy them and emulate the professionals, then you can start learning, you know, each steps that they went through to get to the point that they are, and then, you know, you can start applying your own style and techniques after that. But, you know, learn from the pros, man. That's the best advice I can give you. Learning by watching is one of the things that humans do the best. Vimeo? Yep. There you go. Thank you. Looking out, chat. Right, bracers, and we are good to go. Holy shit. Yeah. Demi-News, I probably butchered your name, man, but hey, man, thanks for helping the chat out, and welcome. See, for bracers like this, where you want it to be like pretty round, but the shape, you know, because it's pretty low polygon and it's kind of like mimicking the low polygons from her arm itself, it might have been better to do like a mid poly version / high poly version in Softimage with sub-Ds, and then add those as local subdivisions so that they actually get turned and they're not just an operation. And then export that out after fixing the volumes, make sure the volumes go back to where they're supposed to. Bring that in here, and then you have your round, a lot more controlled, you know, curves. It's another way of getting around that is you're having a hard time making your brace round and something that's not precisely very round because it's so low poly. Throwing some options here. None of these guys are mirrored at all, so we have full design freedom on what we want to do with the brace and how we design our RAM. Etching apply on here. I probably place the RAM right in the middle, and what I'm thinking is having the horns kind of like go around this way, and then echoes of those horns, you know, kind of like going underneath that, underneath that, underneath that, and then on the outside, on the outside, on the outside. So it's a lot of like busy work, and then your eye gets focused on the clean version, which is like the front, the face of the RAM. So that's what I have in my head. I'm gonna take this. Two more to go. Actually, no, one more to go because the other one's mirrored. Kitchen. Oh, nice. Better. Yeah. Okay, this stuff we can more subdivision later, not better right now. And there's our right on the bicep. Then this bicep and this top part of the cloth get mirrored over to this side, which then complete the other sleeve, as you guys can see over here on our low polygon, our design. Or a Templar Assassin. Hey CatF17, welcome to the show. Yeah, university's fucking expensive, man. Whew. No problem, man. No problem. Anytime. Welcome. A little bit more of the color scheme, maybe. Yeah, maybe this is a little lighter. Really just trying to kind of go off a little bit of her colors, you know, trying to bring that into the set at the same time. But once you get this into the game, it actually goes through materials, and this becomes a lot lighter. So it won't actually be this dark. Same with our bracers; they'll be brighter, a little shinier, some specular from the metalness masks and all. And then we'll also have the pattern on her dress, which will be a little bit of a shiny material, just the pattern part. We'll make that maybe the same kind of like a light gold or silver. We'll see. See when we get there. Oh, hey, Pink Ninja, welcome back. Where'd you go? Do you know if you were gone or if you were just quiet? Smoothing out this entire model, getting it ready for tomorrow's detail sculpt. That's a pretty good starting point, I think. There's that one bracer to go. what we can do as well to give this even a little bit more of a feminine shape is make the outsides a little bit wider, and then kind of smooth out the middle so that you get a nice little concave form to it. Instead of like bulging braces, they're more fitting and more hourglass, if you. Good ways to add femininity to armor pieces. And out the middle section. Still gotta keep it a little bit, you know, kind of smooth, but you'll still see some edges just because of the nature of it having to go around her arm. We can make it completely cylindrical, otherwise it would clip completely through her low poly stuff. So you gotta fake it quite a bit. Try and do your best. Flat, round sculpt around something that's really low poly and very angular. And fake it as much as possible. So what I'm talking about is put a frame to it and subdivision. Should do for. Mask it out. Blur the mask and then invert and pinch or inflate backwards. Like a quick, super dirty test. Let's see. Out. I should probably go up actually and blur it out. Okay, perf. Almost there, buddy. So head over to our deformation, and in here you can do a quick like inflate balloon maybe. There we go. That, you know, you push that stuff in. And then you can grab this outside section or invert the mask or paint a new mask, and then we paint this guy. Jesus, proof, what do you... Alright, buddy, come on. Jump down. Down, down, down. There you go. There you go. Okay. So then here, let's do a quick example for the hell of it. You guys been watching a lot of smoothing anyway. So I probably wouldn't go this far, but I mean, just do I'm missing quite a few pixels here and there, but this is just for the sake of the example. You guys can see if you want to add a little trim to your armor, super fast and easy. We would invert that, grab this guy, and usually inflate balloon is your best bet, but you can play around with the different one. And you usually want to do this when you have more subdivisions, so this is probably a bad spot for the subdivision, but I would probably want to sharpen this. Okay. I'll sharpen. It's no kiss, what's up? There you add your like little edge there. I add all the other stuff. See, I was talking about. Like I said, you need a higher subdivision so you don't end up with little shit like that. But see, you have a nice little edge to your brace. The inside dips in, and then the other side will also have that a way nicerly drawn edge with more subdivision, so it's nice and flat. And once it's got, you know, that kind of level, I mean, you could do it, I guess, at this position, but just be careful with those pixels that I missed there, like I was saying. So right here, we would want to, what's this bitching about? Okay, something's not at the lowest subdivision level. I have no idea what. I think some of it is masked. There we go. I had part of the mesh hidden. It's not that it was the lower subdivision. ZBrush was full of shit. Alright, so say we subdivide that a couple more times, then we can go to our polish brush. And you can make this stuff really nice and sharp. The polish is usually pretty good. Sometimes it fucks up with, if you run it too much in the same spot, it might fuck up, you know, a little bit of your part. So it's better to do like in long brush strokes like this. And then make sure you, maybe you don't want to, maybe you want to leave that little darkness there. That's a little bit of a shadow from far away. And you can also try your trim smooth border, clean up with some of these edges at the very tip, so it's not a complete a single pixel polygon that it's meeting on. Especially if it's like all armor, if you want to give it a little bit of life, a little bit of history, a little bit of use, some battle damage, battle worn. Needs a few more subdivisions to be super. I think you guys get idea here. Better subdivided earlier, but anyways, you can go back in into a new corner. And this kind of stuff will read really, really well from far away. And once it gets down resting to put a really good way of doing your edges. And then once you're there, you can start doing. If you want to do some battle damage, you can start cutting in there. And make sure you go big with your big pieces of battle damage. If you go too small, it's not going to be very visible. Sad. And I like to trim with border. Start cutting up into some flat sections. You can use this if you're trying to put a seam on your brace, and if you were to do this on a straight line. Separate. This is more of a battle damage that I'm doing. That's a good idea of talking about. And if you're using polish, that's great, but if you want to follow through an edge that goes really thin, the trim boots border. It's fantastic. It just kind of follows through and creates a nice little thin edge for everything. See, that's a lot better and more readable from a distance from Dota's 2 stuff. That's even maybe, you know, on the smaller side. You probably want to look bigger than that. But yeah, Good example for a little bit of edge work for you guys. Still need a whole bunch of this work. Don't want to keep it. It was just a quick little example for you. For our default. Okay, where's the rest of our braces? Yes, brace, press. And I think we are good to go, so we can continue tomorrow actually sculpting more of the detail stuff for our final. The X's on the back of the sleeve, those are mirrored. So I just there so that I know, like when we're at lower subdivision, place them on there. So when we go higher, I know that those places I don't need to touch at all. You know, we're just sculpting on the other side. This is gonna be mirrored. So that's what those X's are. They're like, do not fucking waste time sculpting here. That's all. And yeah, we got a pretty smooth mesh with our volumes almost intact. Relating to our low polygon stuff, so we get a super nice bake, and we're ready for tomorrow's, you know, adding all the wrinkles, all that detailed stuff that I was showing you guys. I already saved this, so here I can show you guys this clay build-up brush that we're gonna be using. We're gonna be drawing a ram on here. Oh, it's hidden, so we can't subdivide. This is obviously way too big, but building out ram. Something like face kind of blocked in here. We'll start some of it. Horns being around this way. And when we do more subdivisions, we can actually jump in here and start flattening those out and making some of them extrude really nice. And obviously drawing his face a lot better. I think this save completely fucked my sensitivity, so it's super strong. I can see. Whoops, the wrong way there. Keep this really flat, very angular, very nice and readable from it. Really go up on it. It's slim down towards the bottom. Nice, easy, free-flowing sculpt. Armor stuff. Turned out pretty good when we started doing it. Keeping it very loose. Something that reads from far away. The ram. Oh, cheap. Fear of all those things. You know, keep it very very illustrative, so it's nice and easy to read from a distance. You do the actual texture. So then the rest of this actually start echoing some of these rare elements that we fill up the rest of the brace, but we keep the important design on the middle, on the top side, on the front. Down here we would have that flatter section. Brace. frame of it.
Travel through the light to a city shining bright.
And if we want to get clever about it and have more resolution for our RAM, this frame would actually kill off the frame before it gets to the nostril section. The tip of that nose. Make it stick out on the sides here. You know, a lot more with that masking stuff that I showed you, not like this. We could do it like this, but you know, more precise the other way. Faster. This is just show and tell. And we would eat up into here. That it highlights those. So it starts being actually pretty, even readable from the standards. We do that brace, and then we push something similar for the hand brace. You know, we change it up a little bit, so it's, you know, because that brace is going to be mirrored to her other bicep. So then we push that onto the wrist bracelet with maybe, I don't know, man. I don't know. Gotta think about it. But nothing that's not something that pulls away too much from this design. So keep it kind of similar, but just a different take on it, maybe. As we go into here and we do more subdivisions. Oh my god, with the fucking hiding. Kinda silly though, doesn't let you subdivide when some stuff's hidden. Why not, man? Just let me do it. I know there's other pieces unhidden. I'm not that stupid. zBrush, come on, man. More subdivisions you can go in here and start actually cutting up and showing more of that ram horn. And with the face, cut up in. Maybe this will actually pushed in a lot more. Trying to design along with it. Some of the, we're not only pulling away, we're also digging into the model, and that maybe that continues a little bit deeper in here and gives us a nicer ambient occlusion shadow. We get to it. It will definitely show up better from a distance. I'll show you in a second. Oh, I'm pretty almost done, buddy. Get a little cryptic with it. Want to some vertical lines going on it. Maybe that's part of the design. Use the eyebrows. Somebody pull those eyebrows down. Becomes more illustrative that way instead of trying to, you know, or sculpt just a realistic ram head on here, because that's usually what everybody would do, I guess. Let's try and be unique. Maybe it's more illustrative, or ram head, its horns going across, pushing that pattern and digging in, you know, where this nose would be, making that part of the design to go really deep. Also, when we make that stuff, check that out, right? And for the other sections up here that we're talking about, we can do the same thing that we did with the nose for the edge, where we bring this part out, but we kill it off at the front, so that, again, the centerpiece is going to be that face. That's the important part we're trying to guide your eye to. So by making everything around it really busy, and you know, the echoing of the horns, your eye gets focuses down on horns, or the face, sorry, the ram face. Here we could do, yeah, that's where we start filling it up. Maybe come right there. It's a nice little break silhouette for us, and makes a little bit of an outline, almost like inking. Ram head. And again, when we go into our next subdivision, then we add more detail and more detail and more detail, and then we bake this out with our middle occlusion. It's gonna start looking pretty decent. Danny, what's up, man? This part probably needs to be a lot stronger. Horns are coming out from right on top of there. Let's kill this guy. Kill it right about there. Make sure that that top middle spot is actually way higher than the rest. And that way our normal map is actually gonna bake out something nicer than our brush as we're trying to do points that are our point over here. And more subdivisions, gets cleaner. We start using our brush, using some of these sections to actually be fairly smooth. Pushing some flatness across it so that in Dota, which is really, really low resolution than most games out there, the flatter areas you have, the better your normal map is gonna have a way easier time of bouncing light off flatter areas, larger areas, and flatter areas. That's why we're using the polish tool across this stuff instead of keeping it completely round, because roundness would just create more of a mess with smaller sections of UV space. Hopefully everybody's following along and answering a lot of questions. I'm trying to give you guys a super quick little tutorial here on how I would approach this stuff so that when you guys see it tomorrow, just know what's up. I'm not gonna keep any of this stuff. It's all quick little tutorial for you guys. It's a pretty good workflow. I want to follow this style of sculpting armor pieces, especially for Dota. Nice flat area. Want them to be visible. Alright, so there, they're seeing a little bit what I'm getting at. I'm gonna stop right there, because I'm not actually gonna use that. We're gonna do one from scratch tomorrow, with the correct edge work already done out in higher poly subdivision with the edges and all that stuff. Yeah, little mini tutorial there. Hey Bansi, what's up, dude? You came in right at the end, huh? What's hero set? Yeah, Templar Assassin, man. He hooked you up right there. Hey, I was on the front page chat. Awesome. Oh yeah, every now and then we're getting the front page. Cool beans. I wasn't even planning on detail, but I detailed a little. I know, man. I have to give you guys a little eye candy, right? You guys sat through, you know, a lot of the technical things, so there. You know, I showed you guys a little bit of some fun sculpting. I think people like watching this quite a bit. How the detail stuff comes out. At this point, I would just try and stylize this a little bit more. And kind of ink some of these lines a little harsher. I want them to highlight, separate them from metal stuff. Bottom there. This would probably require even another subdivision level after this. Really, really very perfect. It's fun. It's fun to sculpt all this stuff. I was like, alright, you know, these guys deserve a little eye candy. I deserve a little rest from all that technical. Let's have a little bit of fun here. Why not? And as long as you don't go too high on your subdivision levels, you can always go in here and remodel things, even at you know, at this subdivision level. If you go too high, it becomes really difficult trying to keep the same volumes when you undo stuff or brush stuff in and out. The topology stops responding in the same manners than when you're a lot lower. So if you see pixels still in your stuff, you're still at a good spot where you can still fix volumes and remodel stuff and say, you know, even if I didn't want that eyebrow, we can just be like, nope, fuck that eyebrow, we're gonna redo the eyebrow from scratch. But we take it away, and then we say, you know, just as an example, say we want it to be a way thicker on this side, and we just sculpt it from there, and we just push it out from this direction instead. See, we're still able to do it. Higher subdivision level, not be able to do that. Not at all. So we can have our polish, kind of flatten some of these areas out a little bit better with that new shape that we just sculpted super quick. Nice little flat area. Give some room for those polygons to land. Those normal maps. Texture. So this one turned out a little bit more dynamic. So I don't know, maybe that's what we want, maybe not, but we completely scrapped it and we did the section like that, you know, in a minute. And even at this point, we can still go in there and be like, okay, you know, we wanted to have that piece a lot higher. Didn't really come out a lot higher. Let's add some volume to it. Gotta really stand out up here. A higher layer up here at the top too. Emphasize that eyebrow, that ram eyebrow. No, there you go. Ooh, yeah.